iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.
I think in some ways How I Learned to Drive resonates even more now. I think a lot of that has to do just the way the world has grown. And I think you have to say the world has grown. People are talking about the things that happened in this play that they weren't talking about when we originally did it.
I am ecstatically happy for Paula that this play is premiering on Broadway. It's wonderful she's had Indecent on Broadway, but she's one of our most important contemporary playwrights, and the fact that her plays haven't had that kind of exposure, or I hate to use the word acceptance, but there is a sort of acceptance that comes with a play happening on Broadway, have that imprimatur. So I think that's the most exciting thing. The second thing is just being able to be in the room with old friends again. You know, old friends and new friends, and the oldest friend really being the play itself.
We have been talking for 23 years that this should be shown in front of a larger audience. The performances are so extraordinary from this cast that we always wanted this. So it feels great. It also makes me determined as a mentor and a teacher that the younger playwrights I've worked with get here faster than I did. That's really what it does. It makes me double down because I live in such a world of magnificent new plays. And there's a frustration that we're not getting it out there.
You know, I've lived longer, so there's more to look back on, and it's, I have a daughter now, so I'm just seeing a lot of it from that perspective. But there's something about the particular ages that Paula chose where Little Bit comes forward that are just so, I don't know, they're so palpably emotional for most women. I feel like the ages of 11 and 13 and 17, they're just ages that I feel like women tend to remember really potently.
I feel even stronger about it. And as I was saying earlier, living 2 years, living 4 years, living 10 years more, living 23 years more, just as a human being, it's going to be so much richer. You know, like my first panic was like, oh my God, I don't remember how to do this. But it's just gonna be better. It's so beautiful. You know, you always have your doubts. You're like, oh my God, but the second we got around the table and read it, we were like, this is going to be magnificent.
To me, I think doing this play right now is so exciting, and approaching it at the age that I am and the time in the world that it is, I feel really lucky to be a part of it, and I also feel really excited that I get to contribute my perspective. I think having both of us here as like new faces and new brains in the room is really exciting. I
think the genius of her writing in this play is exactly what you just said, that you can combine real genuine humor, really laugh out loud kind of humor, with something that is so deep and, touchy, to talk about. It's spectacular writing.
I think that this play is talking about something that's in everybody's life, whether they're ready to confront it or not. If it hasn't happened to them, it's happened to somebody they know. So hopefully the experience in the theater fortifies people to go out in the world and live in a slightly more different way.
Early on, we learned that to survive terrible things, you have to be able to laugh at it. And I think that that's just in my bones. The compassion comes from being a teacher, from hearing many, many stories, and then finally saying, I think I have to witness. I think I have to find a way to tell my story in such a way that younger people know there is a path forward, there is light. You can transition from a victim to a survivor. That the best revenge is success and happiness and flourishing, and that those things happen when you believe in yourself. So that's where the compassion comes from. The great gift that the play gave to me is I immediately recognized within the first audience that I was not alone, that there were many, many stories in that audience.
It's been a really interesting combination of watching the 3 original cast members and Mark, who all did it before, go through the play and try to both remember what they did before and also try to forget what they did before, and listening to I'm amazed at how much they're still discovering, which has opened it up to like us being able to discover with them, and it feels like it's going to be a very new production. Like no one's trying to redo what they did before; they're really trying to reimagine it for right now. So that's been interesting and exciting to hear, how they're reapproaching it.
Yeah, Mary-Louise described it at one point as a memory play of a memory play. So there are like meta levels in this process that we're just all trying to like piece together in a fresh way.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.